Hi everybody, welcome to week 2 of the spring semester. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's get to it. Now last week we had an introduction to the class and revenue management, and for some reason I did not schedule you all to give me a video introduction, which is okay. I would love to learn more about you as the semester goes on, and may request you to do a video introduction of yourself at some point. If we don't, or if I don't feel like we're communicating that well or frequently enough. But anyhow, I would like it if you would introduce yourself to me at some point. Reach out for a Zoom call. A couple of you have already done that. If not, just an email introduction would be fantastic. The point is I can't exactly help you in your educational journey or in this class unless I know more about you. So, okay, I need to change our schedule up a bit thanks to an update from AHLEI. My friend Chris Jack with AHLEI and I have been going back and forth on this. They're rolling out a new process for CHIA certification, which is a very good thing. I've been pushing them to get a new version in so you can have the latest and greatest. However, this process has been delayed. Now, take a look at your screen here. This is just an email that I got back from Chris. He has become a friend over the course of a lot of this. And it says, "Hi Rob, UGG technology is so fun. We encountered some issues with the new system, but the attached will allow students to make the exam purchase." He's going to send us more information about this early next week, that being this week. And sorry for the last minute antics, but we'll figure this out soon. Have a great weekend, Chris. So what that means is in your syllabus, we're moving that section back. If you look here, here's a screenshot of your syllabus where it shows us entering into the CHIA portion, or the CHIA certification portion of this course. We're going to have to move that back, which is not a problem. We can pick up with the Introduction to Revenue Management and Price, chapters 1 and 2, and I will have those posted for you to go through. And also I want you to review a webinar from eCornell. I mentioned this last week as an option for you guys to attend. If you did not, I have a link to that, and I would like you to review it. It's about an hour long, and honestly, it was one of the best webinars I have seen to date about how we're wrestling with the future of the hospitality industry. And it addresses some technology, and it often mentions quite a few of the terms that we'll be using in this class. If you don't understand some of the things that are there, that's okay, but it gives you a good summary of what is to come and a realistic look at how this is how this industry and how this skill set of revenue management is addressed in the industry. Okay, so I'm going to put that out there, and I'll have a couple of questions for you to wrestle with on that one, so make sure you get that done, and I will make it an assignment. So I'll keep you posted on the CHIA information that I'm wrestling with right now, and I am thinking about sending you STAR reports, or STR, which is Smith Travel Research. I get them weekly and monthly summaries. I'm wrestling whether I should give that to you now. I don't want to overwhelm you with information, but I would like you to see and be exposed to some of the data that is out there and how hospitality industry manages its own its numbers. Okay, it will help you. So I'm leaning towards sharing it with you, and I'll probably do a broadcast email to all of you with those. I'll just set it up as it comes into my inbox. It'll go straight out to you guys. Let's see what else. Okay, we're going to go week by week with this. As soon as the process for CHIA becomes clear and is communicated with me, I will let you know. We will jump right into that section of the syllabus, and I think you'll enjoy it. Now, another one, a little bit more fun, if you will. Jazz Fest in New Orleans has been rumored to be announced. This is October 8th, the weekend of October 8th, and the following weekend. And this is just for you guys. If you are at all interested in getting back into some of the festivals and fairs and really great music, take a look at this. It's in the fall, Some of you may have time. It's over the weekend, over a couple of weekends actually. Hundreds of thousands of people go to this, and it is one of the best music festivals, and it's accessible to you, so it's not too far away. But I'm going to put a link to a couple of YouTube videos kind of giving you the summary of this. It's put on by the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, so there's a lot of cultural things involved, as well as music on 5 or 7 stages. They have a headliner stage, which traditionally has some great acts. We've had U2, the Stones, the Who, a bunch of really good live acts. What I enjoy about this is they are so well respected, and they run such a good event that every act is on time, and it doesn't run until the wee hours of the morning. But every act, if it says it's going to start at 6, they start at 6. That's because they just had about 20 acts before them that lined up. So, and artists who are not even in playing at Jazz Fest will show up. And what makes it a whole lot more interesting is if you stay in the French Quarter or on Frenchmen Street in New Orleans, there's a good chance you'll run into the artists out there sitting in with some of the bands or some of the street musicians. Steven Tyler actually did karaoke 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, at a bar on Bourbon Street. So have all those stories. Anyhow, I want to extend that opportunity to you guys. It is, if you're interested in a really good music event, and in the business of this hospitality, this is one of the best managed and put on events. Anyhow, check that one out. Okay, brain snacks for you here. I'm going to start doing this on these weekly updates. Give you something of a little intro into the hospitality as a business from a practical standpoint, not from an academic standpoint. Now, what revenue managers go through is a balancing act between price and sellability, or the reputation of the hospitality area. For example, we can sell hotel rooms, or we can sell ticket prices to cover all of our expenses. Very simple. If you have an act that'll run you $100,000, if we wanted to, we could price our tickets at $50,000 a piece, sell 2 of them, and we've covered our act. But how many tickets would we sell at $50,000? So we drop the price. And we try to measure, what does that price say about our act? Does it cover our expenses? And if you go too low, what happens? Now, a good analogy of this is how people act at a cash bar versus a free pour bar. You guys have seen this. If it's free, everybody comes, and it's, the reputation of that particular event with a free bar is tough, So do you want to have that? Now, do you want to have that reputation? But assuming you don't, where do you price your entry fee, or your ticket prices, or your hotel prices? Okay, so it's a balancing act. And as a revenue manager, you need to go through that process of weighing benefits of a price and covering your costs, as well as a few other activities out there. Okay, now there's some formulas, and we'll go through that in the class. But we do this all the time in the hospitality business, especially in the casino business, where we had acts, we had price of buffet, for example, all those kinds of things. Now, more practical, little micro selection of that, and I'm going to read you out a little paragraph I put on a blog post a while back. The pricing wine at restaurants. The industry standard is to mark up a bottle of wine 200 to 300% over retail prices. Therefore, if a high-end wine retails for $20 at a wine retail store, it's likely to sell for $60 to $80 at a restaurant. Okay, makes sense? For rare, expensive specialty wines, the markups could be as high as 400%. So if I'm selling Duckhorn, it's definitely going to be a little bit higher. One of my favorite wines, by the way. This pricing strategy helps to build in types of margins that you will likely require in order to be financially successful. It also helps to explain why most restaurant wine lists start with wine at around $30 a bottle. If you do the math, that works out to a $10 bottle of wine at retail, which is just about the lowest price you'll find for a bottle of domestic wine in many New York City or Chicago or Dallas wine shops. When it comes to wine by the glass, there are also industry standards for developing a pricing strategy. One standard, for example, is simply to price a single glass of wine at the wholesale cost of the bottle. All right? So in other words, if you manage to purchase a case of wine from your supplier at an implied rate of $10 a bottle, then you should be pricing that wine by the glass at $10. There's a lot of reasons for this. You want to cover your costs, for one, by selling only one glass. Wine traditionally does not stick around very long. It goes bad fairly quick. So you want to make sure you cover it and you don't have what's called shrinkage, spillage, or the wine goes bad. Okay, so you have to write it off as an expense and you push it out the door. You're not making any revenue on that particular asset. So those are two examples, one macro of the skill set of a revenue manager, and one micro, more tactical about how you price items on a menu, this being wine. We're going to go through that this semester. Each one of these updates that I give you every week, I'm going to try to incorporate one of those little practical examples. There are some in your text, but these are ones that are based on my experience, all right, or things that I've written about in the past or experienced in the past. So that's it for week 2. My apologies for the change with the CHIA and the adjustment on the syllabus, but hopefully that covers it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I would appreciate it if you'd introduce yourself. That would be fantastic for me. You're going to learn all about me this semester. So thank you very much. Oh, and let me introduce you to my audience right now. It's my dog. So here she is. And yeah, that's normally how she is. And right now she is leaving. So that's a normal audience. So if I learn more about you, at least I feel like I'm talking to a classroom of engaged students. So thank you very much. You guys have a great week.